Right now, as we join you live here at 11 o'clock on the WHAS 1119, we are on the road at this very moment, showing you the great work and clear lanes in front of you, thanks to the city's salt crews today. Today alone, 50 plow and salt trucks worked all across Metro Louisville streets. Now, this view you are seeing live is Frankfort Avenue in Clifton. We are heading east on Frankfort Avenue. It is truly a winter night, folks, across Kentuckiana with falling temperatures. Our 4 inches of snow cover from this morning is keeping it colder, as JCPS and other schools will return to class in the morning. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell is here right now telling us about any refreeze concerns and what it's going to be like in the morning. Mallory?
Hey there, Doug. Temperatures, as you mentioned, plummeting down into the upper teens and lower 20s by early tomorrow morning. So make sure those kiddos are definitely wrapped up, bundled up as they do head to the bus stop. By the afternoon, we should see some sunshine, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. But of course, that's still very cold and still below normal, even for this time of year. Travel impacts overnight. Yes, we are worried about some refreezing, even though we barely got above freezing in some spots today. We could have some slick spots on the roads. We could even have what's called freezing fog by early tomorrow morning. So we could have lowered visibility in spots, some black ice conditions. Just make sure you always allow yourself some extra time to scrape your car if needed and get where you need to go tomorrow morning. That live look outside over the Ohio from our Bachman Auto Group camera. Temperatures right now already very chilly in the low to mid 20s, feeling a little bit colder than that. We have a wind chill right now in Louisville of 19 degrees. We'll talk much more about our cold week ahead, really for the rest of the week. That's coming up in our 7-day forecast. Doug.
All right, freezing fog caught my eye in your graphic there. Thank you very much, Mallory. Well, the city has been talking about it. They are rethinking and retooling which streets are going to be treated and plowed from here on out by the Metro Snow Team this winter time. Now, once again, we're taking a live look. Now we're on North Jane Street in Clifton. We have turned on North Jane Street, this live moving view from our night team photojournalist Levi Hammer tonight. North Jane Street is one of the 23 new streets treated and plowed by the city. That's a big difference from just January. The new streets added to the snow removal list are located all around the metro, from the Fincastle neighborhood out in the East End to the Russell neighborhood in West Louisville. There's also some streets taken off this list. WHAS 11's Alexandra Goldberg has reaction from neighbors tonight who were surprised to see clear streets for them this morning.
It's just like a downhill chute down here.
Residents are elated. Snow removal on hilly North Clifton Avenue will now be taken care of by the city.
It's awesome, man. It's nice to be able to get out and not get stuck, because any other time this is hill going up or down and there's really only one way out.
This year, Clifton Avenue is among 22 other roadways added to Louisville's big list of snow routes. The city's new Department of Transportation says sloped roads were the priority, and small roads like dead ends were taken off the map. That means city trucks like these are treating and plowing some new territory. Here, Public Works is laying salt on nearby Frankfort Avenue.
I saw them out this morning when I was going to work, which was really surprising because usually I don't see them. And then when I was coming back to work, they were sitting on the side of the road waiting.
Alex Landedwich and Heather Tinsley have both lived on Clifton Avenue for over a decade.
People use this as a cut through a lot, and with the nursing home right behind us too, it's making it safer.
Right off of Frankfort Avenue, this is Richard Avenue, which is also listed as one of the additions to the Louisville Metro snow map. Now, those 23 extra streets range from all over the Louisville Metro, from the East End to West Louisville.
Right at the light, just about to take off, and I couldn't even move. I'm sliding back and forth, and it took me a little minute. It took me about 5 minutes until, somebody came and helped.
Deshaun Gaither, who lives on South 29th Street in the Russell neighborhood, says the early morning hours were dicey. But after work,
oh, it's much better. It's much better.
29th and 27th Streets in West Louisville were also new additions to the map this year. Gaither excited his street is included in city cleanup.
I'm pretty sure everybody else is happy too.
And when it all melts, it's time to do it all again for the second snow. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 1119 on your side.
First time the snow removal maps have been retooled in many years, so check them out. For that full list of all 23 streets added to the new snow map, visit WHAS11.com. Although the snow just blew into Kentuckiana, a white flag shelter led by Faith has been keeping Hoosiers in need warm in these cold temperatures for 10 days now. Through partnership with the Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana, several congregations are lending a helping hand. WHAS 11 Night Team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Aspen Hester are reporting tonight from New Albany.
Around 50 cots in this gymnasium at a New Albany, Indiana church are ready to serve a purpose.
There'll be an individual with a name and a story laying in that cot.
Pastor Danny Russell says this white flag shelter at Culberson Baptist Church is a collaboration project. The goal? Keeping marginalized communities like the homeless out of the cold.
After speaking to some church leadership, I reached out to Leslie, the director of the Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana, and we met and had a conversation, and then we developed a partnership.
This is the same church that organized shelters during the intense heat of summer.
Community churches gathered 2 summers ago and had 4 weeks of a hot white flag shelter being a red flag shelter. And then this past summer, we were able to actually do it for the full summer and had different locations on different days of the week during the daytime.
This here is spaghetti.
This partnership includes giving a hot meal to their guests that are prepped in their kitchen with ingredients from their food pantry.
The shelter's open from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Anytime it's below 35. So volunteers get here at 6. They prepare a meal for the night. So they'll help serve that meal, but also we'll have large enough teams where they sit and play games and encourage people.
Organizers tell us that this is the 10th day they've been able to offer this white flag shelter. And they notice that on average, just under 40 individuals end up utilizing this service a night.
For these leaders of faith like Matthew Fleenor with Nomad Church Collective, this mission to serve is a personal one.
I've walked through some very similar things as some of our guests. And it was my faith that brought me to where I am now, to be able to connect with those people and encourage them.
The outpouring of faith in this community is what's keeping Hoosiers in Southern Indiana warm and fed. In New Albany, Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
If you wish to help these leaders of faith serve this community, then you can donate food, money, and your time as a volunteer. To find out how you can do it, find the link for this story on our website at WHAS11.com. New tonight at 11 o'clock, U.S. Congressman Morgan McGarvey of Louisville is calling out the Trump administration. He sent a letter to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development about the Trump administration's decision on cutting 70% of federal funding for continuum of care programs. In the statement, McGarvey says, quote, "We're talking about families with children, survivors of domestic violence, and our nation's veterans getting turned away." Going on to say, because of this administration's callous decision to make more Americans homeless, end quote. He says in Jefferson County alone, that community includes 950 people who rely on the housing funds from 13 continuum of care grants. Happening within the past hour now inside Lexington's Rupp Arena, the electric entrance moments ago by the newly hired UK football coach Louisville's Will Stein. Stein was the famous Y at the end of the Kentucky chair in the middle of the floor tonight, and he came out fired up, fist pumping, and taking in the huge basketball crowd watching UK play North Carolina tonight. This video from our WHAS 11 sports reporter, Sarandon Raboyne, down on the floor. She is covering the game for you tonight. The 36-year-old coach who played quarterback for U of L will be introduced at a news conference at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We will be carrying it live on WHAS 11 News at 4 and the WHAS 11 Plus app. His family is our lifelong Big Blue. Stein's dad played for UK under football coach Jerry Claiborne in the mid-'80s. We are following a still developing story here tonight that will play out tomorrow. A law firm announcing that they will file the first wrongful death lawsuits on behalf of victims of the UPS plane crash on November 4th. This lawsuit will be filed against UPS, GE, the airplane engine manufacturer, and a maintenance company in San Antonio. That's the company our focus team found worked on that plane a month and a half before it crashed. A Chicago law firm, along with Sam Aguiar here in Louisville, are filing the suit tomorrow morning. This is on behalf of the families who lost 45-year-old mother Angela Anderson, as well as 37-year-old mother Trina Chavez, who was employed at Grade A Auto Parts. The firms claim the companies were negligent and the aviation industry should learn from its mistakes. The law firms will be holding a news conference tomorrow at noon with the victims' families. Right here new tonight, the executive director of the Louisville Regional Airport Authority, Dan Mann, providing more insight on the November 4th UPS plane crash, taking a closer look at the immediate aftermath to the disaster as well as its impacts on air traffic. Mann says the crash immediately shut down the Louisville airfield, forcing 5 departures to cancel and causing 16 arrivals to not make it in. After lengthy coordination with TSA, UPS, and the NTSB, eventually the Louisville airfield was able to partially reopen 11 hours past the initial incident.
Todd Inman is the head of NTSB. He's also from Kentucky, so he's one of us. I mean, he understands how important the airfield is, how important operations are from both passenger perspective and world-port cargo perspective. And so he understood, first of all, first mission is we have to find out what happened here. But secondly, we do still have an airfield. We still have expectations.
Mann giving that briefing in Frankfurt today in front of lawmakers. He says that by 7 the following morning, the first 2 commercial jets were able to fly out of Muhammad Ali International Airport. By 10:30, most commercial service flights were able to take flight as the airport continued to work toward fully reopening. Tonight, a 15-year-old is in custody after a double shooting last week that left 2 people injured, one of them a teenager. The shooting happened in the Jacobs neighborhood on the 25th near Craig Avenue. A 17-year-old suffered a grazed bullet wound while a man was shot in the leg. Both were expected to survive their injuries. Today, detectives arrested a 17-year-old juvenile in connection with the shooting. That juvenile is charged with assault and wanton endangerment. A push to prevent law enforcement officers from wearing full face masks could face a tough final vote later this week in front of the Metro Council in Louisville. New legislation by Metro Council member Democrat J.P. Leninger aims to keep law enforcement officers and federal ICE agents from covering their faces while working in public. Right now, it appears one Metro Council vote would determine whether the bill makes it to Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg's desk. Councilmember Republican Anthony Piagentini, who leads the council, Republicans pushing against the bill, says its demands are anti-law enforcement. Leninger, meantime, told us the use of masks by law enforcement is unconstitutional.
They're in plain clothes, into unmarked cars, and they're hiding their identity. That's wrong, it's scary, it's unconstitutional, and people want something to be done about it.
Piagentini has said the 12 council Republicans, himself included, all plan to vote no in the final vote on Thursday. That means all 14 Democrats will have to vote yes to pass the legislation. Tonight, President Donald Trump is standing behind his Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth as questions mount about what some lawmakers are calling a war crime now. ABC News confirming the military carried out a second strike on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean back in September, specifically killing 2 survivors. Now, congressional leaders such as Kentucky's Rand Paul are reacting to what Hegseth says about the strike. He insisted the decision was not his call, but that of the mission's commander, Admiral Mitch Bradley.
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand because the thing was on fire. It was exploded in fire or smoke. You can't see it.
I'm very, very concerned about an order that would say kill them all, kill them, after they've already been wounded, after they're drifting apart.
International law prohibits killing enemy combatants who no longer pose a threat. President Donald Trump says he still has not received all of the information in this incident. Up next, the holiday tradition staging a major comeback tomorrow when you can see Santa making his big debut at the Zone 10 Firehouse.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $90 million. Powerball, $775 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.